Hi, and welcome to the Green With Tiffany podcast. I'm your host, Tiffany Page, and in this show, we'll explore topics of sustainable living, all aspects of health and wellness of people and planet, and how we're all interconnected. Join us on this journey to live better and more sustainably by improving our health, our families, and the world with the choices that we make. Talk about a powerhouse. This is Tracy Duhs. She is a hydration expert, wellness extravaganza. I'm so excited to talk to you. Hi, welcome.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited just to see your beautiful face. It's crazy. We've been connecting for years on Instagram, and then it takes Coco Eco to bring us together.
I love it. And I've just been following all that you're doing. I mean, it is impressive. Tracy just launched a podcast in May about her hydration, as well as being an educator and all about modern wellness. And you are a wealth of information. So we could definitely talk forever, but I'm going to start off a little bit slower here with just the hydration part of it, because I think it's such a misnomer. And I have to say, we always, people that are involved with their health think that they're doing the right thing. And you always hear you're supposed to drink 8 ounces of water. And for me, that's actually a hard thing to do.
For most people it is.
I don't drink that much water, liquid. And then, I'll joke because I do love my wine, and I'll be like, wine is my water. So I have this bottle, and this helps me gauge how much water I drink.
Yeah.
But the truth is, it's really not, we'll get back to hydration and water, but it's not just about water. And that's the fascinating part. So I wanted to kind of dig in a little with you on that.
Yeah. I love that you're bringing this up, Tiffany, because you're so right when you say that drinking water is a small portion of the bigger picture to hydration. And I can't wait to share about what that is, because we are 98.9% water molecules. And if we're that much water molecules, then that means it's an important topic. And if we are not optimizing our hydration, then we are really leaving a lot on the table in regards of our vitality. There's so much we can enhance with our vitality when we optimize our hydration game.
That's really a big deal for people. I think, just with the water, I go to a healer. I call him a healer just because all the modalities he does, he's like craniosacral therapy and biofeedback and kinesiology. And he would test my hydration or dehydration. And he said that I was good. And then I showed him that sometimes I only drink this much water a day. And he was like, only that one bottle a day? And he was stunned. I don't know. Do some people, can they drink less water because they actually get it from other sources? Or is it still better to drink a lot of water along with other ways to hydrate?
Everybody's body's different. Mm-hmm. Everybody's body metabolizes differently. And actually, something that many people do not know is that our body makes its own metabolic water. Mm-hmm. The engines of your cells, the mitochondria, are actually producing metabolic water. They take the hydrogen, the fuel that you are ingesting when you eat, and that hydrogen binds with the oxygen from the oxygen molecules that you're breathing in. So that's why breath is so important, and hydrogen to fuel your body. And when the mitochondria are charged and working very efficiently, you're going to make about 1 liter to 1.5 liters of metabolic water a day. So you're already making water. That's why camels in the desert, they don't need a lot of water and many desert animals, because they're very efficient at using the hydrogen and the oxygen and creating their own metabolic water. So if you're one of those people that has really charged mitochondria, your mitochondria are super healthy, you're probably making a really good amount of water. And then, you're adding 1 liter to that. So that's 2.5 liters. So some people are better. So maybe you've just got really excellent mitochondria, Tiffany. And
interesting. That's nice.
But then there's other aspects to it, right? So people could be drinking a gallon of water a day. I have clients that come to me and they're drinking a gallon of water a day and they feel thirsty still. I was one of those people that was drinking over a gallon of water a day and I still felt extremely dehydrated. So there may be missing components. Some of them could be, you may have a mineral imbalance. If there's a mineral imbalance, then we don't have that osmotic balance between the intracellular and extracellular fluid. And then the cells are not able to uptake the water that they need, and they're not able to excrete the waste effectively as well. So we need to make sure that we have enough trace elements in our body, and as well as those elements, they need to be balanced perfectly. This is one thing that the gift that the ocean gives us, the ocean's plasma, that profile of minerals is identical to what our own blood plasma should look like if we're healthy individuals. If you're an extremely healthy individual, fully mineralized, then your blood plasma will mimic the plasma of the ocean. Most people's don't, because of the commercial farming and the environment that we're in, the caustic environment. Most people are missing many of the trace elements, and those are the building blocks for life. So people can't heal as well. They're having mental fog, anxiety, depression, weight gain, the list goes on, and all the metabolic functions. If you're not hydrated, then your cells cannot communicate. And if your cells aren't communicating, then we're going to have an issue in all of our biological functions.
It's really just a simple foundation, right? And yet, with all the ailments that could come from it, we take pills to kind of mask all these different, issues that you just mentioned. But I do want to go back really quickly, because I just want to mention mitochondria. For people who don't actually even know what that is, can you explain to people what that is, their mitochondria?
Yeah. So our mitochondria are inside of our cells. They're the powerhouse engine of the cell. They're driving many metabolic functions, but the mitochondria are something that we really want to focus on, because you're really only as healthy as your mitochondria are. So if your mitochondria are not healthy, you're not going to be healthy, and you're not going to have energy. The mitochondria are used for many functions, but one of them that many people know about is the production of ATP and ADP, and that's energy production. So if you don't have your mitochondria that are functioning optimally, then you're not going to be producing that energy you need to drive the engine of your body for all the metabolic processes that happen in your body. And one of the byproducts of the ADP, ATP production is, I don't want to say it's a byproduct, part of that process in the Krebs cycle is the production of metabolic water.
I mean, I told you Tracy was a wealth of knowledge. Listen to all that, because I feel like mitochondria in the last handful of years, you hear it a lot.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's really explained what it is. So thank you for doing that for sure. There's
so much more to it, but
I know there is. It's really
like a little simple definition so that people can understand the importance of mitochondria.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people know how that comes into play with their health and how important it is. I guess maybe my water that I do drink, I drink a structured water. I have an alkaline delivery, and then I put it through a special filter. So there's that. And I think that's another misnomer is, people think, okay, I need to drink, my 8 ounces of water 8 times a day. And they'll just drink. I have friends, they'll just fill up their bottle with tap water in like a public bathroom. I'm like, oh gosh.
Wow.
Or
really?
Yes.
I didn't know people still did that.
They do that. I actually never grew up drinking tap water. My mom, we always had bottled water delivered. So when people said, oh, the New York tap water is the best, you have to drink it, it's fine. Well, let's just say, I guess because I really never grew up drinking tap water, it is not fine for me. I'll tell you that right now. That did not go well. And, or the bottled water, I don't know if I can mention names, but there's some terrible bottled water out there. I guess it's better to drink some water than no water, but if they're putting, drying agents in it, that just, make you thirsty. So you just keep drinking more water, not to mention the amount of plastic. You can go to Costco and buy a pallet of plastic bottled water, and it's just really probably no better than tap water, or very little better, but it's very acidic as well. So what kind of water would you suggest people do drink?
Well, you made some great points. Water is the greatest solvent on the planet. So you better believe that it is picking up chemically many of the constituents that are in that water bottle. It's in the water that you're drinking. But along with that, It's also the source receiver of all information bioenergetically. So energetically, you're receiving that information as well. So all around, plastic is not good. Obviously, we know it's really bad for the environment. So definitely get rid of plastic water bottles. And this is going to be a shocker to many. Dump filtered water. You don't want to be drinking filtered water. It's dead water. There's no information. There's no crystalline structure to it. It just passes through your system and does not adequately hydrate your body. You need minerals in order for hydration to take place in your body. So I suggest mountain spring water in glass bottles. You can find a local spring to deliver to you. I know there's raw mountain spring water that delivers as well. But water, we want it to be alive. We want it to be living. So if you live near mountain spring, oh my gosh, go grab your water fresh. That's the ideal. Some people can't. So I say that if you are getting water at home, we want to look at a couple different things. We want to look at the chemistry of the water, and we want to look at the physics of the water. So we want to cleanse the water chemically. We don't want any contamination in the water that could cause endocrine disruption or all of the major contamination that is toxic to our body. We want to eliminate that. So at home, many people use reverse osmosis or water distillation. Some people are using Brita filters. I know a lot of people that use the refrigerator filter. I don't think that, depending on the contamination in your water source, the filter that you're using might not be adequate. So I just say, to be on the safe side, get a reverse osmosis system. I like the AquaTrue. I think it's like $399, something like that, $400. And it makes the water on the spot. And so it's instantaneous. It's making reverse osmosis water, which is chemically clean. But then you need to take that water and you have to add minerals back to it. So buy some trace elements that are perfectly balanced. And like we talked about before, the trace elements that are perfectly balanced come from the ocean. So not all companies are doing it the same, though. My favorite company is Quinton. Quinton's out of Spain. They're in little glass vials. They're hypertonic minerals I just put into my water to inform the water, to bring that crystalline structure back to the water. So now I have water that can actually hydrate my cells. Then I love to vortex the water. Water wants to be moving. It wants to be spinning. If you go to a mountain spring, what's the water doing?
It's coming down the rocks and
it's vortexing. There's movement. There's living information in it. It's energized. It's charged. It's informed. And then it's informing your body, giving you that living frequency. And so I love to vortex water after I filter it, remineralize it, and then I vortex it to bring it back to life. So those are the 3 steps I say.
That's filter, incredible.
Mineralize, vortex.
I mean, honestly, I really don't think too many people are putting this much thought into their water, right? Their MO is like, oh, I just have to drink water. And then whatever water that is. So that's a big deal.
Most people are chronically dehydrated. Most people that reach out to me say, I drink water and I feel dehydrated. Some people are drinking water, don't feel dehydrated, and they are dehydrated. Dehydration is a chronic epidemic in all of the world, really. And all dehydration is linked with inflammation, and all inflammation is linked with disease. If we're 98.9% water molecules, this is something we need to be putting more energy into. It would benefit us to do so.
It's amazing because really it's fairly simplistic. Once you get going on it and get it all set up right and know what to do, that's a huge foundation for optimum health. So it's pretty amazing that we don't give more thought to this, actually. So with that, we'll move into what you call the 9 pillars of health, which, is a little bit added on to just hydration. So there's, some key foundation points that you think everybody should do on a daily basis. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I came up with these 9 foundational pillars because, like we talked about, hydration isn't just about drinking water. If you're drinking water, but it's not getting into the tissue, into the fascia, if it's not hydrating the cells, if it's not doing what it needs to do, if your mitochondria aren't functioning, then you're not going to be hydrated. So these 9 pillars are really about how to truly hydrate at the highest level. So obviously the first one I say is hydration, water, drink water. The second one is mineralization, getting all of the trace elements that you need. And like I said, getting that from the ocean's plasma is probably the most elite way to do that. And then the next one is nourishment. We need to nourish our bodies. If we're not getting whole food, vitamin C, zinc, selenium, all of the nourishment that we need, then our mitochondria are not going to be functioning effectively and therefore not making the metabolic water that we need. So in an effective rate, they're still doing it, but at what rate? So definitely getting nourishment. So not eating foods that are high in calories, but low in nutrients. So we want to eat nutrient dense foods. The next one is sunlight. Sunlight is a part of our diet. It's a part of the food that our skin is taking up. We have receptor sites on all of our cells. They're uptaking the photons, this full spectrum of light that's feeding and nourishing our cells, especially our mitochondria, charging the mitochondria, giving the mitochondria the vitality and energy that they need to do their job. So that's powering you up. Think of your skin as like a solar panel that's taking in the sun's light, and then you're using it as energy.
So important. And the vitamin D.
Yeah, for so many biological processes. Absolutely. So if you are not getting full spectrum light, you are not going to be hydrated. Many people are sitting indoors under artificial light all day long, not taking time to go outside.
Got my lights
so
here.
Conditioned to be afraid of the sun, right? And a healthy amount of sunlight is essential.
And this is before sunscreen, wouldn't you say? To take it in before you cover your skin with something that repels it?
The best time of day to get the sun is 15 minutes after the sun rises and 15 minutes before it sets. Like, that's when you could actually sun gaze, get the sun into your eyes, your body, all the receptor sites it's not thermally hot yet. So you're getting the rays, you're getting the photons, but it's not going to burn your skin. So that's my favorite time, is like an hour, like golden hour. I go for my run on the beach or on Sunset Cliffs at golden hour or right after the sun rises.
Great. All right. And that's it. And that's an easy one, right? That's a fairly easy one everyone can do every day. And so, especially now with people, a lot of people don't want to leave their homes, but this is you must get some sunlight. So hopefully people are getting out there. And here on the West Coast, we've got some beautiful weather still. So yeah, it is.
Yeah. So we can do it. And then that leads into the next one, which is movement. You're not going to be hydrated if you're not moving. I just say, like, primally move, just move your joints, move your wrists, every part of your body, your fingers, your toes, your ears, every part of your body that has fascia. I'm just like rubbing, massaging, moving all day, whatever feels good. That's why yoga is so amazing, because you're just moving different parts of your body. But throughout the day, be moving constantly. Any type of stagnation is going to lead to disease. And it's really important to get that water into the tissue to hydrate all of your tissues, get those juicy joints, lubricate your body, lubricate your skin, massage your skin. I roll my skin, I massage it every day, get all the hydration into there.
I love it. Juicy joints. Well, you look beautiful. So it's obviously working, because you sort of really radiate from the inside out.
Oh, well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Very kind of you. So so movement is an essential part. And then grounding. We are a bioelectrical system. That's why we need electrolytes, because that's basically a solution of water with minerals and trace elements in it as electrolytes. And we need those to be a high voltage human, to be charged, to have our cells communicating with each other. If our cells are not communicating, then we are not going to be healthy. Our cells are not going to know when cell autophagy needs to take place, which cells are senescent cells. The body has this innate intelligence where it knows all these things. But if our cells aren't communicating, then they're not going to be able to talk to each other to know what to do. So the cells need to be communicating, and cellular communication is definitely dependent on this voltage system in our body. And so when you take your shoes off and you're connecting to the magnetism of the earth, then you're able to charge your body. You know, when you walk on the beach, that feeling of just like, wow, you feel alive, you feel energized, you feel invigorated. There's many reasons that that's happening, you know, the free electrons and so many different reasons. But one of them is that your body is being charged by the earth. So you know how to plug your cell phone at night. You know how to charge these silica cells inside your phone, but do you know how to charge the cells of your body? Most people aren't thinking about that. So if you've got to charge your cell phone every day, you also need to be charging your body every day. Take a walk on the beach. If you don't live near the beach, just take your shoes off, stand on the lawn, stand in the dirt, and watch that sunrise and watch that sunset every day. At least get that in. 45 minutes is the minimum that we should be getting on a daily basis to charge up our cells.
That's amazing. And you know, there's a great film, a documentary, I don't know if you saw it, called Grounding, and it tells you all about it, the scientific, study that they have behind it and how it really helps with inflammation and disease. And yeah. And then I know, like my mom, I'm like, Mom, we've got to get you grounding. Well, she wears shoes at all times. She'll take them off at the beach, but she doesn't go to the beach very often. So, I say, just take them off in your front lawn. She goes, no, I can't be barefoot out there. Or she's worried about pesticides that have been sprayed. And I mean, I get that. That's it, it could be, but I'm sure if it's in your own place, maybe in the backyard, if you can do it, I think I love being barefoot as a kid. So I think it's such a great feeling. You definitely feel a charge from it for sure.
Yeah, that's why, you look at kids, they're so vital. They have so much energy, and it's because they're playing, they're getting sunlight, they're usually running around barefoot. And that goes into the next pillar, which is creative playtime.
Oh, there you go.
I don't think that you can be a healthy, a high voltage human, adequately hydrated and charged unless you are tapping into that creative playtime. It's essential for health. And that can be many different things for different people. But I think just being open to the things that excite you. If you don't know what excites you, I always say, go ask your mom and dad what lit you up when you were a child. And if they're not around to ask someone else who knew you when you were a child. Find a way to find out what lit you up when you were a kid and tap into that again. Just rediscover it and start rediscovering yourself. Because creative playtime, in my opinion, is an essential part of being healthy and a high voltage human. And then loving connected community. There's so many studies now going into the frequency of love and connection, and humans were made to connect. If we're not connecting at the heart level, if we don't have connected community of people that we know love us, then we're not going to be high voltage. We're going to be low frequency, low voltage, and that's going to take a toll on our cells communicating with each other. Our cells have memory. Our body has memory. The emotions that we've had, our central nervous system has this memory that it knows every feeling you've felt, every thought you've had. And so when we get tapped into a loving, connected community, we feel safe and we feel connected. It does wonders on charging ourselves up, aligning everything in our body, all of our chakras. And we could call it whatever. Some people call it chakras. Some people call it there's many names for it, but there is an energetic force inside of us that needs to be charged. And we are learning in science that this is essential. So get connected with people, get involved in a group, get involved in a community of people that you feel connected to, you feel supported by, that you feel loved by, and that's going to play a big part in your health, because you could do all of these other pillars. You could be grounding, eating healthy, drinking water, but if you don't feel connected and feel love here, then you're not going to thrive.
Yes. Especially right now too, you're seeing what's happening to people because people aren't connecting as much as they used to. So it is such a big difference, and it all kind of works hand in hand. I always think of us like as sophisticated computers, so it's the cellular memory is just kind of like the memory of your computer, and what you put into it is what you get out. And
That's right.
It's a great foundation, and it's fairly simplistic. It's not really complicated. You just have to kind of retrain yourself a little bit.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be complicated. We try to make it complicated, but it really doesn't need to be.
So you have a book coming out this fall, is it?
Yeah, so it's probably going to be in January.
Okay.
And it's called Hydrate with Tracy Duhs. It's going to have kind of go through the 9 pillars of health, the things we talked about, and give lifestyle tips, recipes, elixir recipes, because I'm known as the elixir queen around here because I love to make drinks that are high vibe, make you feel good, taste good, but don't have any alcohol. And so you can go to a party and just drink things that help use a lot of adaptogen herbs and a lot of different things that are hydrogen tablets, minerals. It just gives you all of the little tips that you need to be super high vibe without having to take anything artificial or things that are going to make you. We don't want to take things that are going to make us feel good right now, but take away time and energy on the back end of our life, right? So we always want things that are just going to be feeding us and giving to our life force, not taking away in the end.
So I love elixirs. I always try different things. I think they're so fun to try the different tastes, and they're very unusual. There was another word you just used that is also, it kind of came along at the same time of the mitochondria when using that word is adaptogen. And again, I don't think that a lot of people know exactly what that means.
Yeah, so adaptogen herbs, I call them like smart herbs, like little doctors that go into your body and they help modulate your system. So say, for example, that there's a part of your body that is having an inflammatory response that needs to be brought down. They're going to bring it down. If these herbs see that an area needs to be energized or activated more, it'll do the same thing. So this one herb can either enhance or diminish whatever's happening in your body based on what your body needs. It's just a simple way to put it. And so adaptogen herbs help you adapt to your environment. They help you adapt to stress. They help you adapt to what's happening inside of your biological system. And that's pretty amazing because if you take medication, that's something that's going to drive your biochemistry in one direction, right? And then everybody's body is going to be like, okay, it's going to react differently. That's why there's side effects for some people, because we don't know if you put the same thing inside of my body, you put it in your body, it's going to drive the biochemistry in a way that my body might not want. But adaptogen herbs is going to work with my body. It's going to say, okay, what does Tracy need right now? What does Tiffany need right now? What's your body asking for? And it's going to help me adapt in the way that I need to, help you adapt. So they're pretty special. Adaptogen herbs are some of my favorite herbs, and they're herbs that you can take on an ongoing basis.
That's really incredible. I mean, because people, it's not one size fits all, and that's what you get if you take a pill. So this is a way that's kind of, targeted just to you. Those little smart suckers know what to do. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, our body has this innate intelligence. It knows what to do. Our only job is to eliminate the obstacles for healing, and our bodies will heal. There is hope. If there's anybody out there listening to this that feels like there's no hope, or they're feeling like a victim to their health or a prisoner to your body, there is hope. Absolutely, 100%. There is hope that you can transmute this situation and change it to become the most beautiful health story ever. And I truly believe that. And I do think that it starts with hydration, though, because the cells need to know how to talk to each other so they know how to do their magic.
I'm so happy you shared that. I mean, I don't know where that comes from me being, when I was little, I always just thought that the body was this, very sophisticated machine that can heal itself. And we kind of lost our way a little bit, and we look for these outside, masking or Band-Aids to kind of fix things that only end up causing more problems. And then you're just on this domino effect. So This is a great way to, it's called modern wellness now, I guess, but it's kind of like what we did before, what's old is new again almost.
Right. Well, I call it modern wellness because I'm teaching people how to be well in this modern world. In this modern world that we live in, most people are in artificial light all the time. So Part of modern wellness is get outside. 100 years ago, we wouldn't have had to tell people that because everybody was already outside. But now it's kind of like going back to basics. Yes, you need to go outside. Yes, you need to take your shoes off. Yes, you need to get access to water that's moving. Try to find go hike to a mountain spring and drink some living water so that your body can get that messaging. 100 years ago, people were forced to do that to survive. But now in this modern world, modern wellness is it's a different list than it used to be.
Right. Well, and you can kind of help with that because you have the sanctuary down by where you are in Southern California. And I want to come. It looks so cool. I was checking it out. These retreats that you do. How do I get in on it? I want to come to one. I think that'd be so fun.
Yeah. So just go to our website, comealive.us, and we do these 3-day retreats. It's basically like, I always say it's like restarting a reboot on your whole system. We work in the mind, body, spirit, but we go down to hydrating you, making sure all your cells are hydrated, taking you through those 9 pillars of health, but in a really fun way that it's going to be an experience like you've never had before. And you're going to come home a whole new human, and you're going to come home with an idea of how to do this on your own in everyday life and how to integrate it into your everyday life. And I guarantee you're going to be excited about it because we make it really fun.
It looks fun. I want to do it. I'm excited. So those are starting back up. Yeah. So people can.
Yeah. So we're starting those back up, and it's very private. We only invite 8 people at a time. We have 8 cottages, 2 blocks from the beach. You get your own private suite. It's very luxurious. It's a luxury event, a luxury retreat, but it's definitely something that I believe everybody should experience.
Oh, I love it. Okay. I'm signing up. I'm coming. But you take everyone's cell phone away from them. I kind of want to document it a little bit.
We do. You take your cell phone away because we want you to connect to you. You know, when we are talking about the 9 pillars of health, and one of them is loving, connected community, part of that connection is you connecting to you. If you can't connect to yourself, if you can't connect to divine, if you can't make that internal connection, then you're not going to be able to have external connections. So we really take the time to really help you connect to you. And I have never seen a person once leave and not feel more connected to themselves, more excited, more inspired, and really understanding themselves at a deeper level that is exciting. We make it really exciting and easy. It's not scary. It's not something that you have to worry about. It's something that you can actually get excited about.
Oh, so fun. Okay. Well, I'm there. Well, I want to thank you, Tracy, for joining us today. It was fun. I mean, I could keep talking to you. I have like a whole list of questions. So we'll have to continue later, but
I love that.
If you want to follow the podcast, the Hydration Podcast with Tracy Duhs, it's where you get your podcast, right? So all the main ones, Apple, Spotify, anything else?
Yeah, any place that you download podcasts, it's Hydrate with Tracy Duhs.
Okay. And other than that, you can go on our website, tracyduhs.com. And we thank you so much for all your information. You're just a wealth of knowledge. And I thank you for your time. I'll see you in November.
Yes. I'll see you soon. Sending you so much love. Thank you for your time, Tiffany.
Thanks so much. Bye.
Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed the show. Please rate, review, subscribe, and share on Apple Podcasts. It would mean the world to me. You can find me at greenwithtiffany.com and on Instagram. Till next time, choose to care.